Zone Enterprises Racing. This is a current progress 1997 Lincoln Mark VIII. And where we are, we got the radiator in, tested, everything is working. Awesome, fits great. So this is what a 4-core radiator fits like in a Lincoln Mark VIII. And you will need the fan to run constantly because everything is so squished in there. There's no air movement except through that shroud and the fan, unless you're just really moving. But you sit still, the radiator is not built for that. That single core factory radiator would be built to run without a fan. You can get airflow, enough airflow to keep the car at a steady temperature because it's so small. But this, as you can see, takes up area, so the flow doesn't come through as it used to with the small radiator. So fan does need to run pretty much all the time. And I have not put my new fan controller setup for a temporary fan control setup. That's next. And so there'll be an update on the fan control setup. And the radiator's hooked up, factory form, everything fits, factory form. Shroud is moved a little bit closer to the engine, didn't really bother anything, so everything still really fits. Hard to see in there, but there's plenty of room. So that's progress. I did have to flip the mounts and make some brackets or some posts right here and some longer bolts in it. That was pretty easy. Otherwise, if you don't do it this way, that bracket right there, that holder, is turned backwards. So that would be that flat part right there would be up against the wall the other way, but that would leave the radiator sitting about a half inch out here, and I didn't like that. And I like the factory shroud because it's a real shroud that works, and it really pulls the air. The fan sits off the radiator, doesn't sit right up against it. Those are fake shrouds. They're not even shrouds, they're plates holding fans, and they only suck out of one spot on the radiator. They don't work. So aftermarket fans and fan shrouds, no good. It's basically because the fan sits here and there's not enough area to pull air from the whole radiator. So you're just basically pulling air from one spot right in front of the fan. Versus this, you have all this area here, and the fan is actually back here. And so the pull comes from the total radiator area, face area. So that's why I opted to go or stay with the factory fan. They're good fans anyway, so, and the shroud is the best. So that's what we have. That's a real fan shroud on it. Factory fan shroud, fit like a glove. Everything fit like a glove up in there. And that's a 4-core radiator. Inside Lincoln Mark VIII, that's what it looks like. That's how it comes out. And I'm gonna put fan controllers right down here. And I'll use the factory control plus my fan controller to get different settings till I change it out to the digital, full digital fan controller. That'll way later, but this will work pretty good for now because I can run it as fast as I want or as slow as I want, same way. Just won't be able to change it through computer unless I reprogram the factory settings later on too. I can do that, but we'll see. So that's where we're at. Catch cans work great. Motor breathes great, runs great. And, we're just moving forward. That's where we're at. All right. Update. 1997 Lincoln Mark VIII. Getting ready.